we might only have, this is the kind of the free plan or whatever on Zoom. So I think we only have about 40 minutes worth, and then it's going to kick us out. If we
Oh,
if we go over that, we can either jump back in, or we might be at a good place where we can kind of leave the recording part of it and do the work offline. But so this happened with the first cohort as well, where this first week there was mega merge conflicts and stuff because there's no established structure for the project yet, and so each pair kind of set up their own structure, and then we had to like reconcile those two. And once we did that, the rest of there were almost no merge conflicts kind of the rest of the way through. So um,
interesting.
I think I need to think through whether there's a way we could provide just a little bit more direction or a little bit more structure to kind of make it so this step is less less difficult next time. But
So
in any
it's good
case,
to learn. I mean, gives you a good
yeah,
opportunity.
yeah, for sure. So let me I'm gonna share my screen. Let's see, share the whole screen. And so what I did was I actually checked out the project in a separate folder so I could have both branches up at the same time. So I could kind of see, just kind of like look side by side. I'm a very visual person, so
Me
see
too.
sort of how the two teams structured things. Um, so kind of starting at the top with the index.js. Like I think the good news here is there's not going to be a conflict, right? Like one team, it looks like left this as it was, and the other team just kind of put the Firestore provider around kind of around it. So I think that file is going to be okay. I think where we start to see, like I'm sure we'll have a conflict here in app.js, right? So what I what I want us to do is to kind of like think about like what should our end state be, and how do we, we can go through the mechanics of merging the stuff so all the code is in place. But what we should do is kind of come out at the end with a structure for the project that is going to work for the rest of the next 7 weeks. So what I think, like, so we have this router component. It links off to some different components for each of the different routes, which is cool. Those list and add seem to be allegory, whatever, I'm looking
Yeah.
for some word. It's
Yeah.
Sunday morning for me too. So to fetch and add over here, right? Like those are
Right.
probably what those are intended to kind of be. And in this case, list is just an H1, and add is similar. It's just an H1, right? So
Yeah.
we could probably end up using these components in place of those ones.
That makes sense.
Okay. Over here, the team has their components kind of off in a folder, and I think that's probably a good idea because there'll be other components. We may even take some of these components and break them into smaller components. So that list, could get really long. If we were just to kind of keep them in the top folder. So it's probably a good idea to put them in a components folder like this. Does that make sense to you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw
Um,
on that action. I was like, oh, that's a great idea.
yeah. Yeah. Right. Right. And something I'll try not to do this too much, but I was just going to kind of show you what the last cohort did too. They actually, the way that they structured things was in their source folder. And I think it took us a couple weeks to get to this point. So, but they had a components folder, and inside of that, each of
Mm,
the kind of major components had a folder. So that what that allows you to do is to put the tests, kind of keep the tests and the snapshots all kind of next to each other.
interesting.
Um, yeah, so that keeps things even more tidy. Because if we had a different, even in the components folder, if you have the test and snapshots and all these things, kind of that folder could get cluttered as well. So that might not be worth doing yet, but at some point it might be worth doing.
For
So we
sure.
could, we could decide whether we want to put that in place or not. So I guess what I'm thinking. So this, let's see. So app.js, I think this is fine to have that router be kind of the thing that app.js is responsible for. Kind of including that router. I mean, you could also, this is a simple enough app where you could actually make the argument that you could just take all of this stuff and put it in app.js, but it is kind of it's nice to just have that be kind of, really simple and tidy, and have this actually kind of do the heavy lift. So I think that's fine. And then I guess it's a matter of kind of swapping out,
Right.
these like list and add for like bringing these components over and kind of swapping those out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
So quick question.
mhm.
Are we going to try, so since we have the two up, are we going to try and like just make the changes individually like in here before we actually like try to actually like technically merge them, but try to make some changes so that we have less to merge when
Mhm.
we go to do it?
Yeah, it's a good question. I've been, this morning or for the last hour or so, I've been thinking about that, and I'm not sure what the best way to do that is. It might be better to kind of go through the mechanics of just merging the code, getting it all reconciled, and then taking it and moving things around and doing a new commit that puts things in the structure that we want.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, I'm not sure how to merge. Like, we could kind of just go off and copy and paste code and do those kinds of things, but we don't really. Then the two branches aren't really merged. At that point we'd be abandoning one branch and just kind of putting all the work on one branch.
Yeah.
You said that you have experience kind of doing the actual mechanics of the merge, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I just would do git merge and then the screen would light up like, hey, here's one, here's the other. Do you want to accept incoming change or accept this other change? And
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
click on a button. Like that's all it was. So
Yeah. Well, do you want to? You want to take over the screen share and kind of walk us through that part of
oh,
it?
sure.
Oh, I wasn't thinking I'd have to. Yeah. And then, because I don't do this stuff every day, so I would probably fumble around with it. But if we like, maybe you can drive. I'll stop sharing,
Okay.
um, and we can just kind of talk through the steps as you go.
Yeah. Um,
I probably should have told you that before we got on the call.
no, that's fine. I kind of was thinking that might happen. So
Okay.
okay, so this is what I have. It's just our branch. Which actually was kind of fun because I pulled down the other branch and then wanted to go back to my branch at some point, and it was fun trying to figure out how to do that.
Right, right.
So I actually always forget how to, when I think about this. There's a website I always use when I'm doing anything with Git because I can never remember how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and do we merge? So I've always merged with my own code. Is it okay to just merge from or to the master directly from my terminal? Is that cool? Is that how that would?
Well, what we should probably do is merge the two feature branches together, and then
Oh,
uh,
interesting.
make a PR that goes to master.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Once we have that PR in place, then the other team can check to make sure that the merged branches like don't lose any important changes of theirs and that kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Got it. So what we'd want to do then is probably git merge. Let's see here. And then I actually don't really know what these flags do. I never remember. I've read it and heard it at one point, but I don't really pay much attention. I think it's taking off
So
the.
tells Git we want to retain all the commit messages prior to the merge. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Okay. So I'll just put in their merge or their branch name and then the NoFF.
Yeah, dash no FF. Okay.
And I'm gonna, because I always forget exactly how it is. Let's see here. So git merge mmce firestore database, and then it's just
Cool.
yeah. Does
That's
that look
great.
good?
Yep.
Already up to date. Well, that doesn't make any sense.
Mm-mm. Hmm. So, huh?
Definitely not.
Do we get status?
My branch is up to date with.
Oh, and actually, let's pull like so. Let's just do a git pull for your branch switch to the other branch, do a git pull, just make sure we have all the latest stuff.
Yeah.
So git checkout and then their branch name.
Oh, okay.
I have a really handy script as part of my bash profile, which is to autocomplete these branch names.
Oh, that is
So I
handy.
can just do like MM and then it just hit tab and it autocompletes, so you don't have to type it all out.
Right. I think that. Wait. So is that an extension you said? Or
I'll have to dig it up. Yeah, I'll put it in the channel.
okay. Let's see here. So I think that's right to pull in because I have to set it tracking with the upstream. Does that look great to you?
Let's see. Like Zoom controls. There we go. Yeah, I think so. Did you already have the branch pulled down locally or not?
I think at one point I did, but it looks like maybe I didn't.
Okay. Yeah, let's try that. It shouldn't hurt anything.
All sorts of merge conflicts. Interesting. Because I didn't actually do git merge. I'd assumed that I'd have to do git merge to be able to get it so that there were conflict errors, but apparently.
Wait, so did you switch to that branch first? Did you check the branch out? I actually was pulling my nose. I forgot I missed 20 commands, I think.
Yeah, no, I did check out. I mean, I can tell because I did, yeah, here's git checkout. And then also
Okay.
my command line changes to which branch I'm on, which is nice.
Uh-huh. So do a git status again. Okay, so let's see. I'm not sure how just pulling the branch would give you conflicts.
Maybe I had pulled their branch down before they had done more changes at some
But
point.
it should just play the changes.
Mm.
It should be able to just fast forward, but so I think maybe let's see. Okay. Trying to think what the best way forward here is.
It does look like I'm like part of a git merge, which is interesting.
So your branch is the MZ branch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their branch is the MM branch. So you just scroll up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see kind of how we got here. A little more, please. Okay, so git checkout, MMC, blah blah blah. Switch to the branch, git pull. But that didn't seem to do anything, right? So then you did git pull origin and the branch name.
Mm-hmm.
Why in the world would that have conflicts?
Do you think maybe, I mean, was there something wrong in that git pull origin line maybe? Did I have that set up correctly, I wonder?
That looks correct to me. So um, so what I don't want to do is make changes to their branch. Like basically we should be starting with their branch at the head of their branch, right? And just merging that into your branch.
Mm-hmm.
So if we resolve merge conflicts here, I'm not confident that those are going to be kind of it's not going to be the same state as what the head of their branch is.
Yeah.
Um,
Can I like completely clear their branch off of here and start over?
yeah, that's probably a good thing to do. Yeah, let's try that.
So
So
what is it, like git
you might have
reset
to,
or something?
yeah, maybe git merge abort. And let's see. Not possibly have a merge file. I just do a lot of git statuses. Can just do git status again just to see what's happening. All right. So yeah.
I wonder if I didn't do this. I didn't add the dashes here when I did abort. I wonder if I need to.
Oh yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Git merge dash abort.
Ah, that looks better.
Okay. Now git status. Just see what's going on. Okay. So you're on MM. So switch over to master or whatever. Just git checkout master and git branch dash D and then MM. So that's going to delete that branch locally.
What's this? There's a note here about it being behind master.
Oh, and can be fast forward. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, we should actually. Well, that's fine. I mean, that's a separate thing. So yeah, we'll delete their branch. Do get pull on master because, and here's the clue that this is going to go well is that and can be fast forwarded. That means is you'll do a poll, it will just play the changes and there'll be no conflicts. Oh, did it not?
Yeah, it didn't work.
Okay.
Does capital D does something that forces it or something, I guess. Okay.
So now let's get poll so we're masters up to date. Okay.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, because they
already merged to master. That's right.
That makes more sense now.
Okay. Sorry, everybody who's watching this. That was we don't need to merge the branches together and then merge into master because one of them's already in master.
Okay. This is good because it's a learning experience, right?
Yep. All right, so that's good. So we basically just need to merge master into your branch.
So then I just do this, yeah?
No. So you want to do it the other way around. So you're on master now.
Okay.
So you want to check out your branch. Git checkout.
Oh yeah, thank you. Okay.
And now we're going to get merge master, into your branch.
Interesting. So you want to merge master onto your branch and then merge it into master? Interesting, because then it'll be an easy merge. There's no problems.
Well, yeah. So what we'll do, so we're going to merge master into your branch, and we're going to push those changes to your branch so that it's in the PR. Then the PR will be ready for them, the other pair to look at and make sure that their stuff is merged in correctly, and then we can merge the PR back to master.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. There's our conflicts. Cool. All right. So how do you normally work through this?
Well, typically it's actually just that there's for me, it's always just been that something needed to be removed and changed into something else entirely. So I haven't had to make changes, so this is obviously not that case. But this router component does need to go into there one way or another. Those need to be combined. So I actually don't know how to do the combining part.
Okay. Well, so we what we were talking about is having we're thinking about what the end result is that we want. Sick. We were talking about having the router component there is probably in app.js probably makes sense, and where we were going to swap out your list and add for the add item and fetch items, right? So I think in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to accept the current change, the one that just has router component. That'll be the one that we I think it's the current change, right?
Oh, I see. So this will actually go away because
that'll all go away. Yep.
Interesting. Okay. Great.
And
so
we'll put it back in another place. Yeah.
Okay. So I should just click on here. Yeah. Great. Okay.
Sweet. Cool.
There's one.
Yep. Next one.
Where do we want to go next? What's going to be the best one to do next?
Well, let's go into router component actually and put those two things. So here, we want to
Or, well, no, I guess that's not
Hmm.
quite right, is
Well,
it?
it's going to be something like that, though. So we need to import the two components that we're actually going to kind of swap out there. Um, yeah, so instead of, I guess, list and add, we're going to have fetch items and add items. Fetch items and add item.
Should I do, I mean, they're gonna be on different lines, right? Or,
Yeah, yeah.
that's how I had the, hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so that's going to be the fetch items, I guess. Yeah, it's going to be in place of list, right?
There we go.
Hmm.
And then for add, it'll be add items,
Hmm.
add item, singular.
Yep.
And down here,
Cool. I think that's right. Okay. Um, that does imply that we can delete um, list and add,
mhm,
add.js and list.js, right? Like those
yeah,
aren't really needed anymore.
okay.
Hmm. Now let's see what else.
Should probably move home into the component folder.
Yeah, that's probably true.
And then we'll have to change update.js to, or sorry, router component.js.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yep.
oh, what is this doing?
Oh, it wants to
Update imports.
update the import for you. Ooh.
Should I try
Let's
that?
just let's just hit yes and see. We can choose automatically in the future if it works. Okay, well, that's good. I'm always skeptical, but
Okay.
cool. Very good job, DS Code.
Great.
Okay, that's good. And then let's see, what are our other conflicts? So yarn lock and package JSON, Cypress fixtures.
I find this interesting because I remember when I was learning about these lock files that like you shouldn't make the changes that the
Yeah,
dependency manager really should. So I find that
right.
interesting. It pops up in the merge conflicts.
Well, what I was going to suggest is that we just delete this file and run yarn install again,
Oh, okay.
and it'll generate the lock file. But we should, before we run yarn install, we'll look at the package JSON and make sure we have the right stuff in there. Okay, so is that the only conflict in there?
Yes.
Okay, so in this case, well, what do you think we need here?
Well, we definitely need the React Router DOM, and we need both of them, so probably accept both changes.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. All right, so now that's correct. So we could delete the, oh, right, let's see.
This is just what we did for Cypress. That way we wouldn't have to write the whole URL in every time we were testing it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's accept that.
Okay.
Cool. Um, so yeah, let's blow away the yarn lock and run yarn install.
So how's it going?
Yeah, this is always that step that's like, okay, oh, actually, that wasn't too bad. All right, so cool. Do a git status for me and just let's just see where we're at. Are there any other merge conflicts? Cool. Do we get everything?
We might have. I feel like there was something actually. Let's see here. Maybe not. No, I guess it was just. I thought this blue meant that it had a conflict, but there's nothing in there that looks like it has a conflict. So.
Okay. Huh. Now is the project in the state that we want?
Let's see here.
It'd probably be good to run it too and see if it works.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Let's see here. Should I run it through the tests?
Oh yeah, that's probably good too. Because yeah, we move stuff around, so some of the tests might need to be updated.
Let's see here. There it is. Hmm. Well, that's interesting. Oh, the list page makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, because I think the tests weren't they kind of looking for certain strings on the page and stuff, and so now we swapped out some of the components, so those tests are gonna fail.
Yeah. Well, that was an interesting thing we found while we were doing the test. Actually, was just that. Oh, it's already open. The when we wanted to just like test to see that the URL matched, but when you clicked on something, the URL actually, I mean, you could put anything in here. I feel like was the
Uh-huh.
interesting. And I've never run into that before, so that was really interesting. We
Hmm.
don't have a test for that. Oh,
Yeah, I think that kind of the little random string you just added there. The way that the router works is there's if it doesn't find a match, it has sort of a default route that it'll load.
yeah.
But just go ahead and click on list and then click on add and just see if these things are okay. So we got items. Do you have the Firestore kind of up and running too? If we add something, can we see if it's added?
Oh, I don't know. I hadn't gotten that far yet with like testing
Okay.
it.
Well, maybe just add something here, and then we'll go back to list and see if it shows up.
Mm,
Coffee.
can see where my mind is still. Okay. There's coffee on there.
Nice. Okay, cool. So that's all working. The routes are working. Um, could I leave it with you to kind of fix up the tests, and then I think the PR, like push the changes up to the PR, and then I think we're probably in pretty good shape.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great.
Cool. Nice job.
Thanks.
Yeah, super exciting to see all this stuff come together.
Yeah, for sure. It is fun to watch.
Yeah, nice.